The following presentation is an overview of the Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA, and an opportunity to provide your feedback on the law's implementation in Illinois. Please allow an hour to view and listen to the presentation. The feedback that you provide via the survey links will be shared directly with the Illinois State Board of Education and will inform their ESSA implementation strategy. Thank you for taking the time to participate and share your opinions. Please click on the link for the survey so that the survey will open in a new tab, and then pause the video as you come across the questions to answer the corresponding questions to each section. The Every Student Succeeds Act, why it matters and how teachers can shape implementation. Objectives. By the end of today, you should be able to explain the following: identify what ESSA is, identify key provisions of the law, provide input to ISB on key elements of ISB's ESSA plan. The Elementary and Secondary Education Act, ESEA, now ESSA. It was a civil rights law on education. It sent $22 billion from federal government to the states every year. It was rewritten every 6 years since 1965, in theory. It was rewritten in 2001 as No Child Left Behind and was due for reauthorization in 2007. The new law was finally signed last December, ESSA, Every Student Succeeds Act. Accountability in ESSA, Part 1. ESSA eliminates the No Child Left Behind federal accountability system and federally prescribed interventions. ESSA requires states to build new accountability systems within federal guidelines. Academic proficiency in English and math on a state test for Illinois, which would be PARCC and SAT in grades kindergarten through 12. English language proficiency for Illinois would be the Access test in kindergarten through 12th grade. And one more academic indicator such as student growth for grades 3 through 8, graduation rate for high schools, and at least one additional indicator. Accountability Part 2. ESSA requires states to identify and improve the lowest performing 5% of schools, schools where subgroups of students are falling behind, high schools with graduation rates below 67%. Form of intervention is not mandated by ESSA, though it must be evidence-based. Assessment. ESSA maintains annual statewide assessment in grades 3 through 8 and once in high school in English and math. It allows up to 7 states to pilot innovative assessment systems and creates a grant to audit testing systems and reduce unnecessary or redundant tests. Teacher leadership. ESSA provides funding to every state that can be used to create opportunities for effective teachers to lead evidence-based professional development for their peers, support teacher leaders who are part of instructional leadership teams, assist school districts in building career paths for teachers. Note, this is allowable but not required. ESSA timelines. In mid-November, ISB released the ESSA second draft. From November to early December, they will be conducting the listening tour number 3. On January 17th, 2017, ISB will submit the draft to the governor. In March, ISB submits the draft to the U.S. Department of Education. And in August of 2017, the new plan goes into effect. If you have questions, now would be a great time to click on the Google Doc that you can provide your questions, and feedback will be given to you as appropriate. How can you get involved? Providing feedback. During these feedback sessions, we will be collecting information relevant to several areas of ISB's ESSA plan. Your answers are confidential and will be aggregated together with teachers all around Illinois. Both the discussion and your responses on the survey tool are important. Part 1. The required and additional indicators of school quality. ESSA requires 4 indicators of school quality: academic achievement in K-12, English language proficiency in K-12, student growth in grades 3 through 8, and graduation rate in grades 9 through 12. ESSA also requires at least one additional indicator of school quality. 4 additional indicators were suggested multiple times to ISB: the 9th grade on track measure for grades 9 through 12, chronic absenteeism, K-12, success in advanced placement, international baccalaureate, dual credit, or career technology education, 9 through 12, or a pre-K2 indicator, K8. This information will apply to questions 1 and 2 on your survey. Part 1, the required and additional indicators of school quality. Something to think about: if you could choose only one of these 4 additional indicators, which would you choose and why? This would be pertinent in question number 3 of your survey. Part 1, criteria for additional indicator of school quality. Indicators must meet the criteria of being student-focused, can be disaggregated by subgroups, valid, reliable, and comparable across all districts, calculated in the same way for all schools, aids in the meaningful differentiation among schools. Research shows success on indicator is likely to increase student academic achievement. Part 1, additional indicators of school quality. In addition to the required indicators discussed, ISB collected feedback on other potential indicators. Please read through the list on your survey and respond using question 4. Things to think about when thinking of additional indicators of school quality. If you could add just one of the above indicators to complement those already proposed, which would you choose and why? And what else would you include and why? This information can be answered in questions 5 and 6 on your survey. Part 2, College and Career Readiness Indicators. ISB has developed a composite indicator of college and career readiness. This indicator is a framework which includes test scores, industry and academic credentials, and behavioral and experiential benchmarks. The academic and standardized testing benchmarks, both that are required, are a GPA of 2.8 out of 4.0 and the Readiness College Entrance Score on the SAT, and 2 or more of the following academic benchmarks or industry credentials: industry credential, dual credit career pathway course, advanced placement exam, advanced placement course, dual credit English or math, that's a college level, college developmental or remedial English or math, algebra 2, international baccalaureate, and 2 or more from the following behavioral and experiential benchmarks: 90% attendance, 25 hours of community service or military service, workplace learning experience, 2 or more organized co-curricular activities, including language and fine arts. College and Career Readiness Part 2. Please read through the description of each potential indicator of college and career readiness. This will be answered in questions 7 through 10 on your survey. For questions 7 and 9, think about how much you support each indicator on this list. In question number 10, how satisfied are you that this framework represents whether a student is college and career ready? Part 2, College and Career Readiness. Something to think about: should any of the indicators be added, dropped, or modified? What is your rationale? Please answer this on question 11 in your survey. Part 3, Teacher Effectiveness in ESSA. Opportunities to support teacher leadership through teacher-led PD, career ladders, and ILTs are now possible through Title II. Additional opportunities to improve teacher quality through Title II funds, $93 million in Illinois in 2016. Part 3, how should teacher effectiveness funds be used? Please examine the possible uses of the Title II funds, which are designed to support effective instruction. Which of these would you want your district to prioritize as a means of supporting teachers? You can choose up to 5. Note, these options reflect activities outlined in ESSA. For complete descriptions, please see Title II Part A of ESSA. Use this information to answer question 12 on your survey. How should teacher effectiveness funds be used? Why do you feel funding initiatives in the categories you chose would be particularly beneficial to ensure students have access to great teachers? Do you have a specific example of this? Please fill in question 13 on your survey. Additional indicators of school quality. In addition to the required indicators discussed, ISB collected feedback on other potential indicators. Academic indicators including the percent of students with successful completion of student portfolios, combined Lexile reading levels, student dropout rates, kindergarten individual developmental survey readiness indicator, the Ready to Learn K2 academic indicator, a longitudinal data on current and former English language learners, such access to AP and IB courses, graduation rates, etc. School climate indicators, the percent of students suspended or expelled, safe environments as measured on the 5 Essentials survey, the percent of students with access to physical activities such as sports or recess, the percent of students who participate in extracurricular activities, the 5 Essentials survey, the composite score, post-secondary readiness indicators, the percent of freshmen on track at the end of 9th grade, percent of students with a post-secondary plan, the percent of students earning post-secondary credentials, percent of students enrolling in college, percent of students who are college and career ready. Non-academic factors, the percent of students with access to arts and enrichment programs, and the percent of students completing arts and enrichment coursework. Eligible district uses for teacher quality funds. Please examine the possible uses of Title II funds, which are designed to support effective instruction. Which of these would you prioritize? For the recruitment, retention, and evaluation of teachers, developing or improving a rigorous, transparent, and fair evaluation and support system for teachers, principals, and other school leaders, developing and implementing initiatives to assist in recruiting, hiring, and retaining effective teachers, particularly in low-income schools with high percentages of ineffective teachers, recruiting qualified individuals from other fields to become teachers, principals, or other school leaders, including mid-career professionals from other occupations, reducing class size to a level that is evidence-based. Professional development, providing high-quality, personalized professional development that is evidence-based, providing training, technical assistance, and capacity building in local educational agencies to assist teachers, principals, or other school leaders with selecting and implementing formative assessments, designing classroom-based assessments, and using data from such assessments, carrying out in-service training for school personnel in the techniques and supports needed to help educators understand when and how to refer students affected by trauma and children or at risk or with mental illness. Providing training to support the identification of students who are gifted and talented, including high-ability students who have not been formally identified for gifted education services, and implementing instructional practices that support the education of such students. Supporting the instructional services provided by effective school library programs, providing training for all school personnel, including teachers, principals, other school leaders, specialized instructional support personnel, and paraprofessionals regarding how to prevent and recognize child sexual abuse, developing and providing professional development and other comprehensive systems of support for teachers, principals, or other school leaders to promote high-quality instruction and instructional leadership in science, technology, engineering, and math subjects, including computer science. Providing high-quality professional development for teachers, principals, or other school leaders on effective strategies to integrate rigorous academic content, career and technology education, and work-based learning if appropriate. Developing programs and systems. Developing feedback mechanisms to improve school working conditions. Developing programs and activities that increase the ability of teachers to effectively teach children with disabilities, including children with significant cognitive disabilities and English learners. Providing programs and activities to increase the knowledge base of teachers, principals, or other school leaders on the instruction in the early grades.